Everybody, what's going on? We had a malfunction that was my fault. Take two. I've been sitting here talking
That
for about
works.
3 minutes, and then I was introducing Admin Tim, Cruz, and Chris Moss and stuff, and I was even starting to say hello to all of you that are in the chat. And then I looked up in the corner, and there's a little button on my screen that says "Go Live," and I'm like, "Go live? Aren't I live right now?" And then I didn't see the little timer thing going or anything like that. So I don't do it. And here's the thing: I haven't even done any shots yet. That's what's scary. I mean, if I start getting some shots, it might get really ugly. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying that you didn't hear is this show today is going to be about Carnival and loyalty, obviously. And what I was saying earlier is that I've been tracking Carnival and seeing how they're doing in the stock market and seeing if there's any correlation between loyal cruisers and their stock price going up or down. And leading into when they first announced this and heading into the beginning of the year, you didn't see a huge dip right away. And in fact, it went down a little bit, then it went up, and then it stayed pretty steady and stuff. But since the beginning of the year, I've found it very interesting that Carnival, and we'll go over these numbers more in depth here in just a little bit, but they are the worst. And before anybody at Carnival accuses me of any misinformation, you can look these numbers up for yourself, and you will see the same thing that I have found. And as I was talking with Admin Tim and Cruz and Chris Moss before the show, the thing is most cruise lines you think are comparable, like everybody's cruising, right? But Carnival's the worst among all tradable cruise lines. And like I said, we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But those of you that have never seen Admin Tim, we finally got him on the show. His video's working, his audio. I know we tried one time before and something went on with the audio or video. Didn't work out. Cruz and Chris Moss, we welcome back again. And he has a channel, so you can go join him and check out all the goodies he has in store for you as well. I was just starting to introduce you, so this is take two for me, but Klesko, the gold medal, and then Seg is right behind in the silver place. We got Admin Tim getting the bronze, and he's also on the screen. Look at that. Then we have Silk 67, who's going to be joining me on my cruise, along with my girlfriend Bridget, who will be on the Carnival Mardi Gras a week from this Saturday. I mean, it's getting crazy close. And Cruz and Chris Moss, we're going to actually try to meet up that morning because he's going on a cruise that day. And we're leaving from the same port, although we're not on the same ship. So we're going to try to connect. But what's the name of the ship you're going on, Chris?
I'm going on the Celebrity Apex.
Okay.
Of Port Canaveral on Saturday. So, yep. So we'll be there.
That's cool. Celso and I were just recently on a cruise. I took a picture with him and his family. They had a big kind of like family reunion type thing going on. A lot of cool people. We got JB, one of our members, saying good evening, cruise life folks. We got Stephen Prescott here. Good evening, all. I'm ready for my favorite topic tonight. No, it's not the Raiders spending like crazy. Although I am happy with what the Raiders are doing. I'm very happy with what. We got Blaine from Chillaxin Travel saying, what's up, everyone? Looks like it's going to be a great show tonight. I hope. There is Bridget, Baby Cuts Music. I can't see the live stream. Is it just me? Nope. It was me screwing it up. Kind of like screwed up their loyalty plan. Celso, Coach, we're here. I want to thank Carnival for creating this mess with the loyalty program. Because of this, we opened our eyes to different cruise lines. And you know what? Yeah, Carnival did that. And Admin Tim is going to speak on that a little bit, I think, tonight as well. JB saw tonight's subject and thought you may need a drink. Your choice, Coach. Well, I'll tell you what. You all have been so amazing that I'm starting to run out. I'm going to have to hit the Benny's or one of my other liquor stores and start stocking up here because I am running low. But we'll start off with the Old Forester. JB is getting us started here. Appreciate that, sir. And I got to tell you, this is side topic, but this week has been a real kick in the you know what. Friday, come home. I go sit down in front of the TV. Like, okay, I'm going to finally relax a little bit. I go to turn the TV on. It's not turning on. There's lights in the kitchen and stuff, but then I'm smelling like this rubbery burnt smell. And I'm like, what the heck? And I go down, I check the fuse box, and a fuse is not, on. So I'm like, okay, it's just a circuit breaker, whatever. And I click it back, and the lights go on for a few minutes or whatever, and then it goes off again. And I go back down, click it on, it goes off again. And then, so the third time I went down there, I just stood there and I like waited to see if it would go off again. And sure enough, it's almost as soon as I click it, it goes off. So I went to the Home Depot. I bought a new circuit breaker thing, all that. I put it in. And long story short, I live in a 100-year-old house. I have in my house going on right now probably about a dozen holes cut in ceilings, in the walls. I've had electricians here since Saturday morning, working about 7-8 hours. We're talking about thousands of dollars. It's costing to replace all this wiring and run new wiring through the house and everything. It's been a damn nightmare. So you talk about needing a cruise. I feel like I qualify for needing a cruise after this mess. I'm just hoping that they can finish all this mess, and the house looks like a dust bomb exploded in it. I'm actually happy to be in my little office because it's like a little cocoon from the destruction that is outside of this door. But Billy, come here. Let's get this show going. High five to JB getting us started here. What do you say? What do you say? Say that. There you go. Good girl. All right. So, yes, sir. Thank you, JB, for getting us going here. You are numbers 1 through 15. We've done real good at finishing right at 0. But cheers. All right. We got Dan Dunn here. Celso's also on MSC, half the price, going to the Bahamas, Western Caribbean, taking my grandson, paying taxes and port fees. Beautiful. Carlos, I'm a platinum member. If they are not right with they're not right with their loyalty program. I think most of us are in agreement on that. I don't see too many people saying, no, that's fair. Are there anybody out there that thinks what they did is fair and just? And Malibu. Let's go.
Let's call Malibu.
Oh, Malibu. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. Malibu. Okay. Yeah, if you break it up like that. Let's see. Stephen Prescott, stock is down. Drink Wi-Fi bundles back like clockwork. Yeah. Yeah. If they don't change, we're going with another cruise line. Yeah, we got some people here we got the Cruise Tubers here. Welcome. Cruise Tubers, and Scott from Controversial Cruising. What's going on, Scott? Carlos Cruz is so close to diamond. Well, Carlos, we were talking about this off air too. There's a good chance they'll extend that deadline, keep kicking the can down the road to get people like yourself that are close to diamond to buy more and more cruises to hit it, so they can, make some more money off you cruising, obviously. Nightbot, thanks for coming to the show. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for doing that, Nightbot. Smash the like button, turn on the bell to know when I'm on next. Cool. Yeah, do that. We got Marjorie back. What's going on, Marjorie? Sandy the Lost Pirate Jenkins, another one of our members. Happy Tuesday, all. Controversial Cruising is saying hi to Chris. M-Bug is saying hi to Chris. James Hawkins, 39 more days to Jubilee, may be the last Carnival cruise. Loyalty works both ways. Yes, we've been hearing a lot of that lately, and I cannot blame that thinking. Tony Bruno, good evening. Good evening, sir. We got Mike Clark back here. What's going on, Mike? Roger's going to hit Diamond in April on a 10-night journey cruise. Will you have safely made it to the home base? Congratulations on that. And it would be nice if everybody had that opportunity to keep working toward Diamond. Hats on a Mission. What's going on, Hats on a Mission? Welcome to the show. We got Bill, Warmstrong Adventures, Coach and Chris. Let me know about the 21st. I leave out of there on the Explorer. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? We might have to coordinate a little morning, because I know Chris is going to get in.
Yeah,
he's going to get in late. We're going to actually be there the night before, but we were planning on meeting Chris early before we headed to the port to get on the ship. So yeah, no, I would love that, Bill. That would be great. It'd be great to meet you too. Wow, a lot of comments here. We got Wanda saying hello to everybody. Chillaxin Travels. We got Blaine. Thank you, sir. And everybody go check out Blaine's channel, Chillaxin Travels. I got to do that myself a little bit more. Actually, I've been so busy with my house down there burning down that I haven't done too much. Come on, Joe. All right, high five for Chillaxin Travels. What do you say? Say like and subscribe. Okay, that was like and subscribe is what she just said there. So thank you for that to Chillaxin Travels. All right, let's see. Okay, you guys all are commenting so much. Cruise Tuber has been doing construction in their house for about 2 months. I can relate to the whole thing about being a dust factory. Yeah, I tell you what, it's in my bedroom. I had to move all the clothes except for what's in my dresser, the living room, the dining room, upstairs. I mean, yeah, it's everywhere. It's just a crazy mess. But you all didn't come to hear about that, so I'll try to not keep mentioning it. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up here. Let's see. Kimberly says earn platinum in September. Not that it matters anymore. Yeah, and that's the thing. It should matter. It shouldn't matter. And we got Danny D here in the house. Where is Dan? Oh, there she is. Danny D. What's going on? And Eddie Lugo. All right. Beautiful. All right. So you know what? We got a bunch of people in here. We got 72 watching. If you could hit that like button, we can populate this, and maybe we'll get up to 100 today. Like and subscribe to Cruising Chris Moss here. And if you're not subscribed to me, I'd appreciate that too. And Ben Tim doesn't have a channel yet. He might change his mind, once he goes viral on YouTube here, because we're going to hear from Tim right now. I invited Tim on here because I know he's been frustrated because he is a platinum cruiser and he has been loyal to Carnival, and he's cruising with MSC this week because, well, you tell us why, Tim. Let's hear from you.
I'm cruising with MSC on Friday. And platinum does matter because you can take that platinum and status match with MSC and get their gold level, which is a pretty good level with MSC. So if you can get platinum, it'll be a good use. We cruise with Carnival religiously for just almost 11 years now. We never looked anywhere else. And so just like all the platinum people, even the gold, they rip the rug right out from under you. Thing is, going to the diamond status, there's no, what do you want to call it, incentive to reach diamond. They took all those perks away. So that's, I think, the biggest thing that burned my keister was there's no drive anymore. We loved Carnival. We loved the people. We've enjoyed all the ships. I think we've been on 13 different ships with Carnival, and I never hesitated spending one penny on a Carnival ship. Even the money that we spent on each cruise, I never batted an eye until the loyalty program went away. You know, they could have gave everybody those extra incentives, like, you know, they wanted everybody asked, I want more points for what do you want to call it, for spending more money. Well, they did that. They gave them people their incentives. They spend more money, they get extra points.
Right.
Keep the loyalty program for people like us.
Right.
So that forced us to be switch.
Yeah, and I could not
look out
agree.
there now. There's out there.
Right. No, I mean, there's so many people that share your same thinking on this. And one little bit of pushback I've gotten from some people is, well, it's not, that big a deal or whatever. They're not really giving you that much anyway. Who cares? And you know what? I honestly, God, I feel like, like you said, you've been cruising faithfully for 11 years now. You've worked your way up to that status. We talked about off air how, you'd go to these diamond platinum parties and stuff, and they never, ever at any diamond platinum party ever suggested, well, we think that this is going to go on forever, whatever. It was just always inferred that, when they talked about little kids that were platinum and stuff, they said, oh, when they get to be an adult, they're going to be already diamond, and they're going to be this and they're going to be that. They suggested that this was going to be well off into the future when these little kids were all grown up and adults and had their own kids and everything else like that. You'd hear the cruise directors talking about it and everything. If they were planning on moving away from that, they should have given people way more than a year plus notice that this was going to happen. And to your point, Tim, you're not getting any real noticeable perks by staying platinum or being diamond as the new rewards program rolls in. If you are platinum, your biggest perk, honestly, is a couple bags of laundry. I think you get a free drink. I think you get a free bottle of water. They took away the ship pin. They took away the gift. They took away the diamond platinum party. So what is it that just is so valuable about the perks in platinum that would make somebody want to spend $30,000 or 30,000 stars or what? I just get so frustrated with the whole thing of how much money it is to maintain getting a few little simple perks. You've earned those perks through the loyalty program. And since it's not that much, it shouldn't be a problem for Carnival to find something comparable that they can just always give you, like giving you a couple bags of free laundry every cruise. I think they could still do that no matter what, right? They could bring back the ship pins. They could bring back the bottle of water. They could bring back the free drink. You keep your card and you keep the ability to move up the ladder just like you always did. The rewards program, nothing wrong with that. For people that spend more money or to encourage or motivate people to spend more money, when you're spending more money, well, now you get to earn really, really cool perks. Like you could earn, a perk where you get a couples massage. You could earn a perk where you're getting, dinner for two in the steakhouse because you've spent so much money and earned so many points. There's no reason that the loyalty and the new rewards program can't work together or, interlace with one another, and you make everybody happy.
Right.
You make the people that are spending a bunch of money, and that was one of the biggest arguments that I heard from people, and understandably, they're like, why should I only get 7 days when I'm paying for a suite and spending, this many thousands of dollars, and somebody else is getting the same 7 days and they're only spending a few $100 on an interior or whatever. That's a logical argument. And that's where the rewards program comes in. And now for spending that much money and getting that suite, you might still both be getting 7 days, but you're going to get much better perks in the way of, rewards on the ship. So, they can work hand in hand together and everybody can be happy from it. So speaking of happy, I am happy that M. Stevens, 2733, have a shot of Four Roses, and Zoe a treat. Jonathan and Michelle. Well, Jonathan and Michelle, thank you so much. And Zoe, what do you think about a treat here? And I keep forgetting. We got JB that started us off. Then we had Chillaxin Travels, Blaine. Zoe, come here. And then M. Stevens, which is Jonathan and Michelle. So thank you so much for that. We're going to take care of Zoe first. High five, Zoe. What do you say? Say it louder. Good girl. All right. She says thank you. And the Four Roses. Here we go. And the Coach Cruise shot glass. Yeah, so no, that's an excellent point. And then Chris, why don't we? Chris is he kind of jumps around. He's been to a lot of different ships, a lot of different cruise lines, and everything. So he can kind of give us a different perspective of what's available on other cruise lines, how they're taking care of people, how it coincides with Carnival, and what comparison. So what do you have to say on the matter? And thank you once again. Jonathan and Michelle, cheers to you. And right. Yeah, Chris, fun.
So yeah, looking at the different cruise lines, I do a lot of Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, and one of the things that they did is they've actually combined their loyalty programs, so you can sail on either one and earn points towards each other cruise line. They started that this year, called Points Choice. So if I'm trying to earn more points on Royal Caribbean, so this cruise that I'm taking in a couple of weeks on Celebrity, I can actually transfer those points over to my Royal Caribbean account and earn towards my diamond status on Royal Caribbean. And then we've also been able to status match between the two cruise lines for the past couple of years now. So if I was a certain level on Royal Caribbean, I would be that same level equivalent over on Celebrity. So I would be able to get the same perks or whatever Celebrity offered for those perks over on their cruise line. So they've really matched between, Silver Sea, Celebrity, and Royal Caribbean. And MSC, you can status match through MSC, which I did when I took my first MSC cruise. I status matched at Gold. And with that, if you book your cruise far enough out, you'll get, I think, a 5% discount. You'll get a $50 onboard credit. You'll get a day in the thermal spa. You'll get a seat in the F1 car. I think you get a discount on a spa package or something like that. You get some other things. If you get a 7-day cruise, I think you get a gift bag of some sort in your room cabin. So there's a lot of perks out there available.
You said a seat in an F1 car?
Yeah, they've got an F1 simulator in their game room, and you get to
MSC?
On MSC. Yep.
Oh,
so
really?
You'll get to do that on Poesia when you sail on their coach.
Okay.
So you'll have an F1 simulator in their game room, and you'll get to do a couple laps on that.
Wow.
So because you status matched, I'm sure you're probably Gold over on MSC, and that'll be one of your perks that you'll get when you go over there. But you'll get a day in the thermal spa too.
Very nice.
So
all right, very cool. Well, and Angie's watching on Facebook, but she said I was really looking forward to attaining diamond. Honestly, mad about it because I have been loyal, and that's just the thing. It's oh my, and again, and maybe well, Tim, I know you feel the same, and Chris, it just doesn't. Nobody can make it make sense. Nobody can make it make sense. Like what business model out there ever has been successful when you're shooing people out the door, when you're acting like, you know what, we don't need your business, just go, just go, we don't need you, like that's in effect what Carnival is doing, and so many people, even if it's just for the principle of the matter, they're like, like, I mean, like, this isn't cool, this isn't right, we're at least going to start looking around. And that's the thing, like if you have a monopoly and nobody else has anywhere to go, then fine. You can kind of rewrite the rules however you want to do it, and just kind of, okay, this is how it's going to be, and this is going to be the cost. And if you don't like it, well, we're the only show in town, so too bad. But you know what? Carnival has competition now. like you just talked about, the MSC, Margaritaville is another value cruise line that people are starting to like and talk about more. Royal Caribbean, talking about all the perks there with them, Norwegian. I mean, there are other cruise lines that are offering a, value incentive type, program to come on their cruise lines and trying to show you an experience that you'll really enjoy to get your business, to gain your brand loyalty, something that Carnival had a lot of prior to introducing this new rewards program. And it's gotten so much blowback and so much negativity towards it, and then people just running in droves, that it's like, why don't they change it? So we're not quite 30 minutes in. I want to share some numbers with everybody, just so I don't get another video from John Heald saying, that I'm filling you all with misinformation. I'm giving you accurate information. Okay. As of about 5 or 6 p.m., I looked these statistics up. These are stock numbers. Okay. The 4 tradable cruise lines, Carnival, Norwegian, Royal, and Viking. All right. Now, 1 week, that's not a big sample size. I get it. But for this past week, the last 7 days of, that they've kept numbers or whatever, the lowest or the best, the best performer of the week is Royal, and they were down 4% on the week. Viking was the next best performer. They were down 5%. Norwegian came in 3rd place out of 4. They were minus 8% for the week. And Carnival is the biggest loser, minus 10%. That's 1 week, this past week, down 10%. So if you had $10,000 worth of stock, well, it's worth about $9,000 now, roughly. Okay, now for the month, let's go to the month. The best performer is Viking, still at minus 5%. The next best performer was Norwegian at minus 11% this past month. Royal Caribbean is down a pretty hefty minus 17%, down 17% on the month. And Carnival, a whopping negative 21%. 21% down in this past month. Okay. Now let's go to the past 3 months. And this is where it gets better for everybody. All right. So the top performer for the past 3 months is Royal at a very nice return of plus 15%. Next best is I'm sorry. The next best is Norwegian at plus 8%. Okay, that's for the past 3 months. Then after that, we have Viking plus a little over 6%. And in last place at barely 1%, profit or whatever the past 3 months, that is Carnival. Now, year to date. So in other words, if you said, hey, I'm going to start off the year and I love cruising so much, I'm going to put my money in stocks. Well, if you invested in Royal, they did the best. You would have 3% more money. Viking was the next best. You'd have 1% more money than what you started with. If you invested in Norwegian, you'd have 10% less money year to date. And once again, Carnival is the biggest loser at negative 15%. Now, why is Carnival always, in these examples, the biggest loser? What is the one thing they've done that none of these other cruise lines have done? And that is offend the hell out of thousands and thousands of loyal cruisers. So is it just coincidence that they're the biggest loser in all of these examples from the start of the year until now? Or might it have something to do with screwing over and, basically pulling the rug out from under all of the loyal cruisers that now have to earn their way to certain statuses. I think common sense tells you it has something to do with that. I mean, what do you two guys think?
I think it does.
Is.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah.
So,
and they're making it so hard to get to that status now with the new program, because just looking at Royal Caribbeans, and you only need 80 nights to get to Diamond on Royal Caribbean. And if you sail solo, you get double points for that night. So if you do a 7-day cruise, you get 14 points. If you sail in a junior suite or above, you get double points. So if you sail solo in a junior suite, that's 4 points per night that you can get. So you can really maximize your benefits. And then you get 4 drinks per person in your stateroom, which for somebody like my wife and I would really benefit, because my wife's not a big drinker, and I could almost go without getting the drink package, because she would probably drink 1 drink, I'd get the other 7, and then I could probably buy maybe 2 or 3 other drinks to get through the day, and then we really wouldn't need a full drink package. We would also get a free day of internet. We'd also get some top tier events. We'd get priority wait list for the ashore excursions and the spa. We'd get Crown Lounge access, which is a private lounge. You get free play in the casino. So you get all of that on Royal Caribbean. So it's a lot easier to obtain Diamond status with Royal as compared to Carnival, because I'm 192 nights away from getting Diamond on Carnival. I sailed an 8-day cruise. So, and that was my first Carnival cruise. And, with them, there's no reason for me to even try to do anything with getting loyalty. I think somebody later in your post said, well, why can't Carnival, share loyalty across programs? Why can't they? Because I sail Princess. I love Princess. Why couldn't, points go across the brands P&O or Princess or Holland America? I mean,
right.
Why couldn't they come up with something to help that way?
Not factoring in the loyalty. What did you find different about Carnival? What did you like or like less about Carnival in your 8-day cruise by comparison to the other cruise lines?
There's nothing I liked less. I really enjoyed Carnival. I thought the staff was more friendly forward. Not that the staff was not friendly on any of the other cruise lines I've sailed on, but they are more in-your-face friendly, I guess you could say. Almost to a fault, I would say. I mean, I'm used to people being friendly to me on a cruise, but they were that much more friendly. And just as much as they tried to please you, it was just second to none. And I hear Carnival Cruise Addicts and Cruise Life TV talk about them all the time. And yeah, I saw it in person. I was on an 8-day cruise. So, we had a lot of kids. It was a Christmas cruise, but the kids were a non-factor. I mean, they were, I thought, well-behaved. It wasn't overly crowded, I didn't feel, in certain places. Yeah, we had lines for Guy's Burger and for the Mexican place and stuff like that. But, for getting into the dining room, it wasn't bad. It was a very good cruise. I would cruise them again, but I'm not going to do it for loyalty.
No,
I truly enjoyed it.
No, and that is one thing I will say. So like for me, I'm Diamond, but I think personally, even if I wasn't Diamond, it's really going to come down to cost and value for me. And I don't want to make this sound, the wrong way or whatever, since we're on the topic tonight. But if cruising with Carnival, I can save $500 over cruising with another line, well, I'm going to throw the perks and stuff out the window at that point, and I'm going to save my $500. So, it's more about valuable being, and Chris can relate to this very well, being a teacher or whatever, your money only goes so far. So if you can stretch it, especially me being foolish in the casino at times I need to especially, get the value when I can, because I'm probably not going to walk away a winner. That part of the, gambling, I realize that you're going to lose more than. And speaking of cruising, Chris Moss, he says that I look thirsty, and Zoe could use another treat. So Zoe, you want another treat? Come on up here. So thank you, sir. And we're up to 65 now. Chris is 51 through 65.
And looking at the perks, that's what I like about Royal Caribbean, because every once in a while I can get a better deal going through Celebrity with the all-ins package that they have, where you get the drinks and the Wi-Fi included. And now that I can do the points choice, to where I'll be able to credit the points over to Royal Caribbean, that can be a better value cruise, because people think of Celebrity as a more bougie type of cruise, which it is. It's a step up from Royal Caribbean. There's less kids and stuff like that. There's no water slides and everything. But I can sometimes find a lot better packages on Celebrity than I can on Royal Caribbean. And, with the perks that will transfer over, I can still get my diamond status. And then when I get that, that'll give me more perks when I go on Celebrity.
Yeah, absolutely. Will G is here. What's going on, Will? Will's a frequent visitor to a lot of our cruise channels and supporting all the time. So thank you for that, Will. And we got Celso says, Coach, you need to invite Christine Duffy to your channel one day. You know what? I would invite her and she would say no. She's definitely not coming on a channel with somebody like myself. Not that, I'm a mean guy or anything like that, but I had mentioned to my girlfriend, I'm like, Carnival could, show up one day and say, hey, you know what? You can't cruise with us anymore. I'm not saying anything that's not true. I'm sharing the public sentiment or whatever. I'm not lying about them. I'm not, I love Carnival, and I've gone on record and I've said that. To your point, Chris, you were talking about Carnival a little bit earlier. The crew and everything, amazing. They're not the ones who screwed this up. They're not the ones who are making Carnival less desirable. That's the beards, that's the suits, that's the investors, that bought up a big chunk of the company during COVID or whatever, that had signed off on this stupid plan and have not gone to the table yet and said, you know what, this isn't working. We're not making the money we thought we were going to make. And we can't wait until the rewards program really kicks in because we're losing just too many customers, and our stock price is going down. We have to stop the bleeding and fix this. I'm hoping that's what they do. The more you all talk about it, the more you all share with them that you're going to other cruise lines, you vote with your dollar. When there's less dollars in Carnival's pocket and they start to realize, you know what, according to our PVPs, as Tim pointed out, his PVP called him earlier. I don't know, was that off air or was that on air that you said that, Tim? But
yeah, it was when you and I talked. My PVV called one to think about cruising, because I still look on Carnival for just the cruises. He noticed, and I told him I'm not going to cruise with Carnival anymore. And we've been together a long time, and he asked me, and I told him. He says Carnival can't afford to let Platinums to keep them because there's too many of us. I says, and that's a bad thing? And he says, well, with the laundry and I said, they can open this stuff. They can make changes for us. I says, you can lose a lot of people.
That costs nothing to them.
Well,
I mean,
they don't understand.
No. Here's the thing on that, Tim. All of those conversations are recorded. They have to say that, because that's the memo that they get saying, if people talk about why can't they do this, why can't they, tell them that they can't afford it, that there's too many of them, that there's this, that there's that, whatever. It's just like one of those scripts or whatever that they got to read off, and if they say, yeah, we hear you, we agree, it's stupid, but that's the company we work for, well, then they're going to get fired. So they have to.
I talked to him just like I did with you. I talked to him just like he's a friend, and I held nothing back. Right. And so if it's recorded, they got it. So, it's sad because they've always talked family, and the people on the ship treat you like family.
Yes, they do.
We took anniversaries, birthdays, retirement cruises, everything with Carnival. Celebrated our 40th anniversary, renewed our vows on the Vista, everything. Carnival would have got our 50th in 2 years. It's not going to happen. I don't care what I pay. The money doesn't matter to me. Loyalty did, but it's out the door. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm that PO'd.
Yeah, no, I mean, you shouldn't be sorry. I mean, you in a way, you were forced to do it. You wanted to keep giving them your business. They wouldn't let you. You're like, here, take my business. And they're like, no. Yeah.
And getting back to what you asked me earlier, Coach, the first time I sailed on Carnival, I walked up to Tyler Meehan, our cruise director, and introduced myself.
Have to fix it.
Yes.
And the diamond people. But where's the incentive? Good diamond? They're not anymore. Get me on my soapbox.
Yeah. No,
you've earned it, Tim. You've earned it, buddy. You have.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've earned it. But what I was saying is, I walked up to Tyler Meehan. He was the most approachable cruise director I've ever ran into, and I've been on close to 20 cruises.
Yeah, he's good.
He was just so approachable, so nice. I mean, he's a young kid, but we talked for about 5 minutes. I know he had many things to do. It was a Christmas cruise, but yeah, he was just so nice. And then the next day he came up to me. I was in the Carnival shop. He goes, "Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?" Blah, blah, blah. I mean, he remembered my name. Yeah, I'm kind of a memorable kind of dude, but still, I didn't expect him to come up to me, and he kind of blindsided me. I was like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great thing. That's just what makes it, like you said, like family.
No, absolutely. I like Tyler a lot. He's a good young guy. Yeah, he's very, like you say, very approachable, and so many of them are so good about being personable. I remember, walking around with Cookie when he still worked with Carnival, and heck, he walked me back into guest services. They were having a meeting, and I was like, "Oh, Cookie, I don't know if I'm supposed to come back here with you." And he's like, "Come on." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble," but that's Cookie. That's just how he was. And they're back there having a meeting, and he's like, "Hey, everybody, this is Coach. He's doing like a documentary or whatever, and it's just the people within Carnival. Carnival does something really good with their training. Whoever's in charge of training and how to interact with customers and everything else like that is really, really good. And I hope that part never changes, because, like I said, the crew and everything, they're just the best. They really are. So it's a shame that they have to be coupled with the management or the suits or the beards or whatever that are kind of messing this up. So yeah. Kenneth Brown says, "Oh no, go ahead."
That's one of the things when I took the behind the scenes ship tour, we were given the tour by the HR director of the ship of the Horizon. And that's what she stressed is, everybody's like family. I mean, she's worked there for probably 15 years, she said, on that ship. And, that's what she said. That's what they approach it as family. And, she said that she loved it there. She couldn't see herself working anywhere else. And when people go off ships, I mean, they keep in touch with each other, and they just love each other. So yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah, no, and you know what? The thing too is, in regards to family, the crew do make it feel like family, because I've cruised enough to where I'm regular enough that I see some of the same crew and staff multiple times, to where we've been on multiple cruises together. And I can't tell you how many hugs and stuff that I've gotten and given, to crew members, because we just enjoy hanging out, whatever. I'll admit a lot of the times those people are bartenders, but still, I mean, it's an enjoyable interaction, where you can, just talk and hang out and just have fun at the bar, and then talk with your fellow cruisers, and just all have a good time hanging out and stuff like that. And the biggest reason for that is the crew. So, all right, let's see. We got Mickey's Adventures match with the number of participants in chat to show support. Match the like. I like that thinking. Mickey's Adventures. Thank you for that. Let's see here. See if we can find a question. Andy, we got Andy from the UK. Stay at Alchemy Bar on the Carnival Vista in Puerto Rico. I can tell you that there is security at every bar, and people are upset at the loyalty program as it gets closer to kicking in. Massive mistake, all caps, massive. By Carnival, I would have simply dropped in another level. Standards are low. You have to ask for things that should be delivered as part of your loyalty level. Glad I switched to Royal. Yeah, Andy, you know what? That's a really good point about having to ask. A lot of the perks that came with your loyalty levels now, you do. Carnival's counting on that. At first they blamed it on COVID and said, "Oh, well, we can't bring this stuff in the room because it's a safety issue. We want to keep everybody safe." So, the chocolates and stuff, we'll deliver them and nothing will be a problem or whatever, but you have to call room service. And to get your bottle of water, you have to go to a bar, and you have to do this, and then you have to do that. And what happens is oftentimes people just, forget, and they don't collect the perks that they're supposed to get, which of course saves Carnival money, because that's less money they're spending on perks and things like that, or giving away, that they can. So yeah, Andy, that's a great point. And hopefully, even though Andy's not on Carnival, I will find him again on another cruise, because he's a lot of fun. Anybody ever cruises Andy, he is a riot, I'll tell you. Mike Clark says, I've been with Carnival since 2002. Once I hit Diamond in April, it will free me up to explore other cruise lines. Now I will build loyalty with them instead of Carnival. And that's an interesting perspective, because he's going to hit Diamond. You would think like, oh, you get Diamond, now you're just going to be good and you're going to stay. But that's a thing. This has opened the eyes of some Diamond cruisers and say, hey, what's to stop them from changing the rules on us? Just like they changed the rules on all the loyalty people. So, Tim, did you have any more thoughts?
Hey, Coach, I need to correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
I need to correct something I said. I said Solar Cruises and Suites get 4 points. It's only 3 points, thanks to Nelly. He corrected me. Nelly Tuiasosopo. So thanks for the correction, Nelly.
All right, there we go. But Tim, yeah, did you have anything more you wanted to add in regards to,
I don't blame Diamonds for leaving, because you guys have already been cheated. They took, once you turn Diamond, they take all those perks away, the free lunch and dinner at a specialty restaurants, bringing a third or fourth guest to sell for free, the discount for a guest or for you guys when you turn Diamond. Those are the perks that you don't get anymore when you turn Diamond after September. So what's the reason to stay Diamond or become Diamond?
Right.
So you get your extra laundry. It's not there. So
yeah,
if I would just turn in, I would stay.
Right. Comment from Mikey Hetrick. Carnival consulted no one but the bean counters about this program. Plain and simple, it's a money-making ploy. Carnival's still the cheapest option, so it'll always have customers regardless. And you know what, Mikey? I don't disagree with you completely, but Carnival is getting a big challenge from MSC, in terms of cheap cruises. And Margaritaville, I know, is another one that is offering really cheap cruises. And so I don't know if that's necessarily true anymore. That was the point that I was making, is by Carnival losing their brand loyalty, allowing brand loyalty to walk out the door, which is the dumbest damn thing any business could do. Once you've secured brand loyalty, you hold on to it like G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You do not let go of that brand loyalty once you have it. You do everything in your power to keep it. And for some dumbass reason, Carnival decided it would be a good idea to just allow people to just, we don't care. We're not going to be loyal to you anymore. So, even though we're not really giving you anything to begin with, and what's happening? Thousands and thousands of people are checking out other cruise lines. It makes no sense. No sense. 0 cents. So Carnival is still one of the cheapest options. But here's a point that I would like to make, Mikey, that I've made this point with other people and comments and things like that. If you have a hotel, right, and you have an event coming to town, well, usually when that event comes into town, there's more demand. So maybe rooms that you were selling for $100, you can sell for $200 because the demand is high. And you're making twice the money because of this event. Okay, but then your normal times, you're going to make $100 per hotel room, which is acceptable, right? But now what happens when you say, you know what, we used to have a loyalty program where we'd give you, a bottle of champagne after you spent 20 nights with us and, this and that. And yeah, we're not doing that anymore. And now all of a sudden, the hotel guests that were loyal to you, that were coming, that were filling up your hotel, they're like, no, we're not going to come. And now all of a sudden, your hotel is half full. And you're like, oh, well, we can't have a half full hotel. So we have to lower the price. So now you lower the price down to $50 per room. But guess what? You sold it out. And that's what people keep saying. Oh, well, Carnival's still selling out. Well, yeah, but at what price? If your demand was higher, in other words, if you didn't have all these loyal cruisers running out the doors, checking out other cruise lines, wouldn't there be more demand for your cabins? And thus, you would be able to keep the prices a little bit higher and thus make a little bit more money. And what is that costing you? A free drink, a couple bags of laundry, bottle of water, allowing people to check in a day or two earlier to get bumped up in the line a little more than somebody that's just starting out cruising. That seems like a pretty good deal to keep that customer. Yeah, go ahead.
And what's to say that those new cruisers are going to stick around? I mean, what's to say they're going to stick around?
Right.
So you want people there that are going to continue to spend money like you, Coach, like Tim did. You want those people to come back as return investments. And they're not getting that with a new cruiser. I enjoyed my Carnival cruise, but I'm not going to rush back there and book another cruise with them anytime soon. If they get an itinerary or a ship that I want to go on and it fits in my schedule, yeah, I'll probably do that, but they're not my first choice right now.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, especially for people that feel like they're not going to have their platinum status or their gold status. I know JB is still gold. They're not going to have that honored. Then yeah, there's even more motivation because however little they're giving you in the platinum status level, whatever little, the couple bags of laundry, the whatever, the free drink, the bottle of water, whatever little bit that is, it's still enough to be like, well, if I know I'm going to get that every time and I know I'm a little higher up in the pecking order with this cruise line, that's going to make me look to them first. But if you know you're going to lose that and that's not going to be available to you, then, it's like, oh, okay, so I'm even with this cruise line and I'm even with this cruise line. Let's just do some shopping and see, you know what? I've been on this ship before. That's Carnival. I've never been on this cruise line or this ship. Let me just go check this out. Like it doesn't make any, there's no business model. And I'm not a business expert or anything, but I'm still waiting for somebody to explain this to me so that it makes sense to where to lose loyal customers and have loyal customers streaming out the door rather than keep them over a couple damn bags of laundry and a free drink and a bottle of water. I'm still waiting for somebody to explain to me how that costs so much money that it's worth it to let them walk out the door. and nobody's been able to do it yet. I'm still waiting. So, I mean, Christine Duffy, this is my personal invitation, courtesy of Celso Green. If you would like to come onto the show and explain this to me, John Heald, you are invited, and I will advertise it, and we will get 1,000 people on here watching, if not more, probably 10,000 if you two came on. So, yeah, and I doubt that invitation is going to be accepted, but it's out there. It's officially out there now. So there you go. Tony Bruno says Zoe needs more snacks, and of course, a shot of choice for you, Coach. You know what? I'm in the mood for a shot, so I will do one. Tony Bruno, let's go to the Four Roses this time. Zoe, you want a treat? Come on up here. And we got our handy dandy little Coach Cruz shot glass. I got to get a few more of these made. I gotta get Tim one. And I got something for you too when I see you, Chris, next week.
Yep. And don't get me wrong. I mean, when I was on Carnival, I truly enjoyed it, and I do have a free cruise offer from them from going to the casino. But I've put some feelers out there with the UR Comped, and I've got some pretty attractive offers through MSC and through Margaritaville too that I wouldn't mind trying. I've never been on Margaritaville, so that's looking pretty attractive. So not that I.
What do you say? Say thank you. Say thank you. There you go. Okay.
So
sorry about that.
So yeah, I mean, Carnival's not. Yeah, Carnival's, still in the running for me, but they're not one of the top choices. And don't get me wrong, I like Carnival. I love the people on it, and I would sail on it again. If there's a ungrouped group cruise going on next year, if I had time off to go on it, I'd go on it just for the people that are on there. If I had a chance to sail with Tyler Meehan again, I'd go on it just to sail with him again. If I had a chance to sail with you on Carnival, I'd sail with you on Carnival. But it's just not one of those top choices that it's in the forefront of my brain right now.
Blaine from Chillaxin Travels. Royal's a great cruise line. I've been on 4 cruises with them. Their ships are amazing, but the crew is not as fun. I haven't been so much with Royal, so I can't speak to that, but that's kind of the sentiment that I've gotten. Wanda, and this one's important for me too. I pack less, and I take advantage of the free laundry. So I agree with you on that, Wanda. Let's see what other questions we got. Chillaxin Travels, pay your way. I already earned my loyalty. We got Cam Fam saying, what's up? What's up, Cam Fam? Nightbot is working hard here, trying to get everybody liking and subscribing. Appreciate that, Nightbot. Ocean View to 210. I definitely changed my approach to Carnival after they changed the VIFP, was working towards platinum. Look at that. We got Trevor Johnson in the house. Cruise with Jen and Trevor. They are blowing up on YouTube and Facebook. Some of you know who they are. They are they're becoming like TikTok famous and YouTube famous and all that other kind of stuff. So thanks for checking in, Trevor. Much appreciated. Trevor and Jen were on the show not too long ago, a month or two ago. We got to get you guys back on. We got to get you guys back on. So definitely hit me up. And
their MSC, their Margaritaville cruises look amazing.
Trevor and
Jen's cruises.
Yeah, and I know that they've been treating Jen and Trevor like gold over there at Margaritaville.
Yes, they have.
So,
yes, they have.
Yeah. Chillaxin Travels. I already and those of you that know, Trevor was in line to be a cruise director. He was senior fun squad with Carnival before they kind of did him wrong a little bit. So yeah, he's not with Carnival anymore, but he used to be, and so he knows all about Carnival. And we had a whole show. You guys could go back and look that show up if you wanted to.
I think Trevor's a classic guy. He never said a bad word about him, though. Never said a bad word about him.
Yeah, very absolutely. Classic. Stephen Prescott, you're 1,000% right at Chillaxin Travels. Cruise Tubers, Coach, I'll have to have you on Getting Ship-Faced for a drinking interview at some point. Oh my God, me and drinking? Who says I drink? I don't do much drinking. I need to do a lot less is what I need to do. Probably not more is not more is probably what I should be doing. Rodney, one more cruise with Carnival, then I'm done. You know what? And see, Carnival, again, here's the thing. There's always Carnival media watching, because if you say something, you'll get a nasty little email, or you'll get the Carnival ambassador himself calling you out on one of his videos, which I've had a couple times. And, I don't mind being called out if it's true, but a couple times I've been called out, it hasn't even been true. So, if you're going to call me out, at least be honest about it. At least be telling the truth. You want me to tell the truth. Okay. You tell the truth too. Don't blast me. Actually, you know what? You can blast me, because it actually helps people join the channel and stuff, because they're like, wait a minute, you didn't say any of that. You were lying. So yeah. Tony, come on, Loyal Cruiser, 70 of us watching and only, oh my God, 10 likes. What are you talking about? On my thing, it says 55 likes. So I think we're doing okay. But yeah, it would be, it's showing 60, it's showing 80 watching right now. And on my little screen, it shows 55 likes. So that's at least 25 people out there that haven't liked yet. Mike, Duffy doesn't care. At the end of the day, it comes down to accountants and investors making profits. She is a scapegoat. Yeah. Well, you know what, Mikey, that part I agree with. A lot of people want to point at Christine Duffy because she is the person to point at, because she's the CEO and everything. I don't fully feel like it is all her choice or decision or whatever else like that. I have a sneaky suspicion she's against it. Of course, she can't say that, but whenever she talks about it and what they're going to do, she sounds uncomfortable. It sounds like she knows it's bad, like she's saying a bad thing. She doesn't say it happily. She says it, well, there's just too many platinum cruisers, and it's almost like she's trying to excuse the fact. So I do believe that there's some people behind the scenes, and they're trying to use the strings to control what she has to say and what she has to do. So I do think that probably Christine Duffy, and a lot of people badmouth John Heald too. John Heald is just a speaker for the company. They send him the stuff and they tell him this is what you have to say. And, if he doesn't say what they want him to say, then he could potentially lose his job,
Yeah, I like John Heald, from everything he puts out. I mean, he's in a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you can tell too, like some of the stuff John has had to share, you can tell he hasn't liked what he has to say. He doesn't have a good poker face. He knows it's bullshit, but he can't say it's bullshit. He has to, try to put as much sugar on that bullshit as he can and make people think that it's not as bad as it actually is. And people are like, no, that's still bullshit. It's just got a little sugar sprinkled on it, and yeah, people aren't buying it, as they shouldn't.
And looking at the status of the cruise lines, when's the last time you seen Christine Duffy running around with a champagne gun as compared to when you see Michael Bailey running around with a champagne gun on the cruise lines?
Yeah, there you go.
So,
well, Lewis has a good point here. If the stock continues to slide, do you think the Carnival will reverse the loyalty program? I do. I think if any company is losing enough money, their bottom line is money. And Carnival is obviously their bottom line is money. It definitely isn't family or loyalty. But if they feel like connecting with family and loyalty again is going to make them the most money, then yes, I think so, Lewis. I think they will switch it around. And that's part of the reason why I'm having shows like this and doing videos, is because I know so many of you are still upset about this, and you want somebody to speak out about it, and there's not a lot of people still speaking out about it. So yeah, I'm happy to use my platform. And again, I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with you, because here's the thing: I am diamond, but the thing is, I know if I was platinum, I would be even more ticked off than I am now. I identify as platinum, in a lot of respects when I'm doing these videos, because I think of myself that way as I'm making them. And I'm thinking about how mad I would be if I was in that situation. And that's why it's easy for me to get upset and get passionate about it, because, well, in Min Tim, he's my guy, like
we appreciate that
almost from the beginning. So like, I don't want to see him suffer, and I don't want to see a lot of you that, are gold or platinum or whatever else like that. It's bullshit. Like, you've been loyal, Angie was on here. We've cruised together. Yeah, I mean, so that's it. Let's see. KY Lady. I started cruising with Carnival in 84. I'm platinum. I've cruised with NCL and Royal. Going to try MSC. Well, there you go. We got our comedian, Brad H. Yes, coach. Cost and value is number one. Next are dates and itineraries. Everything else, including perks, is irrelevant. I cruise on 7 or 8 lines at various levels. Loyalists, any line are, invested. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, that's the thing. If you're not cruising regularly, and especially I didn't start with Carnival. I started with another cruise line. I think I was on Celebrity or something. But the first Carnival cruise on, for whatever reason, it clicked and I really liked it. And then so I wanted to start doing Carnival, and I'd been pretty much loyal to them for a long time. And, I do love the crew. Steven says, I have a feeling there are more of us that are against change than there are for it. Some are just more vocal. I don't think anybody likes this plan. There are people, I agree, that probably don't care as much, but I don't think anybody likes it, and they would like to see it change. 2,600 casino points on Royal to activate free rooms compared to 6,000 on Carnival. Poor standards and all. Great point, Andy. I didn't know that, so good info. I have a feeling there are more people like, oh, okay, I just read that one already. All right, we have Nelly. No points. Choice is, if I sell Celebrity, I can take those 7 nights on that cruise and move them to Royal to build my status. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Mario.
Just fill out.
We talked about how only the U.S. cruisers could get their CC credit card. Nothing's been said about how every other country can accumulate points on top, that we're losing our platinum status from Canada. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, not only that, Mario, but then you have your military as well. Eric from North Shore Travelers, I asked him about coming on tonight. He was busy with his daughter and hockey and stuff, but he's going to be deployed. He's going to be deployed and will not be able to cruise and, maintain status and stuff like that. Like the new program suggests he has to if he's not diamond. So, Carnival has made a point of saying how much they appreciate military and how much whatever. Well, okay, you appreciate military, then change the rules for them. At least change the rules for the military, right? Especially if they're deployed and everything. And are you going to grandfather the military at least? Our first responders, something, and if you're going to do that, why don't you just do it for everybody? But I don't know. We got Jay Lang, and again, I know I'm missing some comments here, and I apologize. We're actually over the hour, so I'm trying to get all the comments here. Hey, Cruising Chris and Coach Cruz, what's up, Jay Lang? Cookie and Kendall are my 2 cruise directors I've ever had. Best cruise. Mikey, yeah, Cookie, Kendall, and Lee Mason. Lee Mason, Cookie, Kendall, those are my 3. But I'm with you. You got 2 of my top 3 right there. M. Stevens says, get rid of faster the fun. Mikey, faster the fun provides them straight cash right away, similar to how airlines charge you for priority boarding. They aren't taking that away. Probably not. Probably not. But you know what? They could come up with a different perk. And I mean, I'm not saying this is the perk they should come up with. This is something that's been mentioned, like Royal has done. Chris is talking about the 4 free drinks they give you. I don't even see Carnival doing that because that's going to cost them too much in their eyes. But something like, free pictures from Pixel Studios or something like that, that's something that wouldn't cost them a lot of money that they could do, to show appreciation. Cruising Chris Moss, yes, you can fill out the form before, then 14 days post transfer to point. Okay, that's good info right there. That's why you should like and subscribe to Cruising Chris Moss. What upsets me most is that this is rewards program gives impatient people the ability to buy their way to what took us years to accomplish. Yes, valid point. Very valid. Very valid. Will G, got to go, everyone. Have a great night and week. Thank you for that. Nelly, yes, 3 for solo and sweets. I wish. Okay. Bottle of water is now in the room. No longer need to go to the bar. That's good, Mikey. Because sometimes I had to go, sometimes I haven't. Jay Lane, Carnival has, but by the way, the bottle of water that used to be 1.75 liters is now 1 liter. How many people knew that? If you haven't been on a cruise in a while and you're used to those big, tall, giant bottles of water, they're now decreased in size significantly. Okay, now they're only 1 liter bottles. Carnival sent so many people to other cruise lines.
When we went in last time, it was the same size.
When you went, how long ago was that?
January 18th.
Okay. All right. Well, they had just started to make the switch. So when we went for New Year's Eve, we ordered water and we got the 1 liter bottles. But they had, for our free bottle of water, they still had some of the 1.75 liters left over, and they gave us a couple of those. But the water that we actually ordered was the 1 liter. So maybe they're ordering.
That might have changed.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying maybe they're going to keep the 1.75 liters for the free bottles, or the bottles you've earned, at least for the time being until they run out of them. But as far as the bottles of water you buy, those went from 1.75 to 1, and they still charge the same price for them. Okay. I called Carnival, the booking agent said 90% of the past cruisers booking and trying to get their higher status are talking about going elsewhere if they don't change this reward program. 90%, that's crazy. If that's true, then they need to be changing this program right away. Deb is here. They should learn from Disney and Vegas, push away your loyal customers for short-term gain, and you'll have fewer customers in the long run. Say it louder, Deb. Say it louder. 100% true. 100% true. And Cheryl, Tim's better half, agrees. And I agree with Cheryl as well. Mark, as a casino gambler, all of them have changed their programs over the years. I'm a platinum level, and based on the new program, I'll make diamond easier. I only started cruising Carnival 3 to 4 years ago. I'm 10 minutes from the port in Baltimore, and now they'll have 2 ships starting in 2027. Yeah, and Mark, I mean, the thing is this rewards program, and I've gone on record many times saying that it doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. For people that spend money, and are going to spend more money, they should be rewarded more than people that aren't spending a lot of money. If I go spend $10,000 during my cruise and somebody else spends $1,000, guess what? I want more. I'm going to feel like it's better if I get more than somebody that spends $1,000. They get the same as me. Like, no, that's not fair. I want some extra perks. And the rewards program, that's the good thing about it, is you're going to get those extras. But that doesn't mean the people that have invested years of loyalty into your brand, that doesn't mean that they should be totally discarded and just totally turned away. So yeah, but I don't disagree with you on that part. All right, let's just see. Okay, there's a super chat in here. Oh my God. There's so many comments here. So many comments. I might not be able to get through all of these. I apologize, everybody. You know what? I'm gonna have to. Oh, this feels so bad here. I'm feeling ashamed right now as I'm skipping down, but we're already 15 minutes over. Let me. You know what? It's a beautiful problem. It's a beautiful problem. There's so many comments in here that I can't get through all of them. But Legion Rider is here. Obviously the super chats I'm going to get to. Legion Rider, Drink Up Coach, looking at booking our first cruise away from Carnival. I don't care about the perks. I just want to keep my status 10 days away from Platinum. I booked a 15-night transatlantic in November to reach Platinum. Legion Rider, and I believe Jeff is the Legion Rider. And let's see, that is a $20, and we're almost, that puts us right up on the brink of 100, which was when we do our riding. We got JB 1 through 15, Blaine Chillaxin Travel 16 through 30, M. Stevens 31 through 50, Cruising Chris Moss 51 through 65, Tony Bruno 66 through 75, and Legion Rider Jeff 76 through 95. Thank you for that. And again, I wish I could show you all these comments. You all are so amazing. Oh my God. And there's still 70 of you in the chat. And technically the show was supposed to end about 20 minutes ago. I just can't. I mean, it's just so many. It's just so many. I can't even do it. But let me do this shot. I can do that. So Legion Rider, Zoe, come here. Come get another treat. And Quacks to JB, Blaine, M. Steven, Cruising Chris Moss, Tony Bruto, Legion Rider. Thank you all for the super chats today. You know what? Chris, Tim, one of you, I've talked too long. I've read too many questions. Any comments you have on any of the questions or thoughts since I've been rambling here? So come here. Cheers.
Hey, it's a great topic, Coach. I mean, a lot of people are interested. A lot of people want to hear this. It's something that's not going to go away unless somebody changes something. So, Carnival's a good cruise line. I've experienced it myself. So they just need to figure out their ways.
I agree with Chris. They need to work this out before the end of September or the 1st of September. So
let me ask you, Tim, because Tim, you are uniquely qualified to answer this question. How many, if they come out and they say, 30 days from now, like, you know what? We've listened to you guys. We understand you're frustrated. We understand you're upset. What we're going to do is we're going to intertwine the loyalty plan and the rewards program. Those of you that have been loyal, we are going to respect that loyalty. We are going to honor you. We're going to give you the perks that we said we're going to give, and we're going to implement this, and you will still be able to work towards Diamond. You'll still be able to do the loyalty program as it was devised. And then those of you that, want to, do the rewards program and spend a little bit, will you come back, Tim? Will you and Cheryl come back to Carnival and say, you know what? Okay, we'll forgive you, or have you been hurt enough to where you're like, screw you guys. I mean, we were here this whole time and then you said you were going to do this. We're not coming back. What is your opinion on that?
It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah,
sure.
I ask the hard questions, Tim. That's what I do.
Hurt me pretty bad, had taken it away. So I'd have to think hard. So the decision together, it would be a good maybe that I would come back.
Okay, that's fair. And you know what? I mean, just the fact that it bothers so many people. Like you can, like I've gotten hundreds, if not thousands, of comments from people throughout these videos that I've made in reaction to since they brought out this VIFP plan. And you can tell that it deeply hurts so many loyal cruisers that just feel like they've been stabbed in the back and the rug pulled out from them. And that's why I've just wondered. And they did write relatively soon by the Diamonds, which was good. But the thing about it is like, and again, I've said this time and again, they're not giving you anything. They're really not. You know, as somebody said, you know, the color of the card was important to them, you know, because, well, yeah, that's not too much more than what they're giving you, honestly, is the color of the card. Because, you know, I mean, how many people are getting super excited about a couple bags of laundry, a bottle of water, a free drink, and maybe you get to check in so you board an hour earlier than a few hundred people. I mean, those are the highlights. I just said the whole highlights of the platinum perks right there. I wish it was more than that, but it's not. It's really not. And I mean, why can't you do that for people, Carnival? Why? I mean, it's so damn fun. I would pull out the rest of my hair if I had any hair left to pull out. I pulled out the rest of it. I used to have a full head of hair, and then you introduced this damn rewards program. And then now what used to be I used to have enough hair like Chris when this whole program came out. I had hair like Chris, and now look what you did to me, you know? And yeah, like, why can't you fix this? It's so bad. All right. So we got Mr. Coffee says, we got married on the original celebration, did our 25th anniversary on the new celebration, cruised as we had children, and recently started cruising Grand. Also, they lost 3 generations. Oh my God. Like if I'm the person in the business room or whatever of Carnival, I am just breaking down doors at whoever the hell is responsible for not changing this back or doing whatever is necessary to stop the bleeding. I mean, Mr. Coffee here, they lost 3 generations, and those are facts. Those are facts. You know, I mean, that's not somebody just making something up to make a point or whatever. Those are facts. It's just like, and it's not costing you that much to just honor the people that you said you were going to honor. You never suggested that this was ever going to change until you changed it. You know, do the right thing. God, it's not that.
The thing is, you can tell how visceral this is too by Tim's answer. I mean, it really gets you to the core.
Yeah.
To the loyal Carnival cruisers.
MB Barnes, I coach, just saw a short clip on here, and they've canned loyalty benefits for platinum guests. Trip out of Tampa because there is too many loyal guests. Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm trying to get through. Canet says, I canceled one of my cruises with Carnival this month. Cost me $100. And you know what? Some people are doing that. They're like, you know what? I don't care. That some people are saying, I'll pay the $100 fee. I'll pay the $200 fee to cancel a cruise because I'm so upset that I will pay the $200 fee so I can cancel and go with somebody else. And if that doesn't speak volumes, I don't know what does. Chillaxin Travels, and I've never been on a cruise line where the cruise director is as involved as Carnival. It truly sets them apart from all of their cruise lines. Yeah, the cruise line, I mean, the cruise directors within Carnival. Some of them are like gems, genuinely. We got Lil Green Worm. We've become MSC Seascape fans. Won't go back to Carnival unless it's a specific itinerary we are looking for. Carnival brags on their crew, and rightfully so. But the Seascape's crew is awesome too. And you know what? That's what's going to happen. And here's. Let me be fully honest. Here. I love Carnival. I love the crew. I've gone on record. I just can't say how much I love the crew more. One of the things that scares me about going on another cruise line is I'm afraid that the crew is going to suck. I'm afraid. Okay, but what happens if Carnival forces me, or, I feel like, like I've been like and Tim, is going to go on MSC this weekend. What if I feel like I've been forced to, and then I get on MSC and I'm like, you know what? These crew, they were really good. They were really fun. They were really nice. I enjoyed myself. Guess what? I'm staying with MSC. Or guess what? I'm staying with Royal. Or guess what? I'm staying with who makes me feel at home, who I'm comfortable with, who I enjoy. I mean, Carnival, to think that is not available out on other cruise lines, to think that their crap doesn't stink, so to speak. What delusional mindset is running this thing in Carnival? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Never have, never will. Cheryl says, I think we'll be too little too late. They're hitting us hard with emails already, but the ship has sailed, literally. There we go. And Andy's left. Andy and I were on a cruise together like a year ago. The beards are out of touch. When the Cruise World, John Heald's a legend. Chaps, sounding board, lovely lady, but the beards are the faceless props here. Yeah, pretty much. So many comments. I can't even keep up. Matt, Australia will cost me $25,000 to stay platinum every 2 years. And your word of words, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Especially for what you get. I let the Alchemy Bar on the Mardi Gras be a couple weeks. I even had them make your favorite a couple times. So they would be ready for you. I love that. Thanks, Mike. And I saw some video from Cruise Life TV because they were just on the Mardi Gras. And I saw some of the Alchemy bartenders, and I'm like, oh, I remember him, and I remember him, from other cruise lines and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think Silk was on here earlier, so they're going to be on the same cruise as me. Chris Strickland, 4433. Granted, I'm already Diamond, but if I had to spend the amount it costs to maintain Diamond, I would rent suites on luxury cruise lines. There you go. Absolutely. Look at that. We got the Texas Cruiser. It's been a couple weeks, Rick. I'm loyal to Royal, but MSC Seascape really blew my socks off. It's an awesome ship. Quickly becoming a Royal MSC fan. Okay, MSC people out there, MSC rich people out there, not the regular MSC, but the MSC rich people. If you can adopt me for a cruise, I want to get into the yacht club. Okay. Because I keep hearing about this yacht club and I'm like super jealous. Like I want to get into the yacht club. So yeah, if somebody wants to smuggle me in to the yacht club that is one of the rich MSC cruisers, hit me up.
Need to talk to Uncle Dave. I think he just booked the yacht club.
No kidding. Okay. Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave, we know each other. So Uncle Dave, you got that extra bed. Just let me know. And I hope I'm available. I hope I'm not working. Living and cooking. We mostly do Royal, but I wouldn't mind trying something else. I know celebrities on the list. I want one of those quackery. Wonder where you got it. I got this from I think it was Patty, on the horizon this summer. I think you can get these on Temu or somewhere like that. But yeah, they are cool. You can recharge them. There's a little charge port there for it. But yeah, I guess they're like $3 or $4. I've seen them before on other things, but yeah, she gave me one. Cruising Chris Moss says, do the drawing. Okay. I will follow those orders. All right. So we got JB 1 through 15, Blaine, Chillaxin Travel 16 through 30, M. Stevens, and there's us on the screen, but I'm going to turn us off. And now we're not there anymore. M. Stevens 31 through 50, Chris again 51 through 65, Tony Bruno 66 through 75, Legion Rider 76 through 95, and Cruz and Chris Moss 96 through 100. Let's see who the winner is. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. 48. The number is 48. Let's see who 48 is. 31 through 50. We got a new winner. M. Stevens. I don't think they've won before. M. Stevens, I'm going to pull the cooler out from under the desk here. You can choose to win this handy dandy cooler, which holds about probably 50 cans or so, or bottles or whatever. I know at Mentem, Cruz and Chris Moss, they already have one of these coolers. It has a bottle opener too, somewhere on here. Yeah, there it is. It's got a little
front, I think.
And Cruz and Chris Moss, his son, is just getting one of these. I just shipped it yesterday, or actually my girlfriend did, I should say. And then, or you can choose to get a Coach Cruise shirt. This is our original shirt. It has the big Coach Cruise logo on the back. Says, just can't get away from a good time. So you get your choice of a shirt or a cooler. And M. Stevens, congratulations on that. And thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Absolutely. The Texas Cruiser has been a member of the Coach Cruise channel for 10 months now. That is amazing. Thank you for that, Rick. Mike Clark says, if Carnival makes it right, I will stay with them. There you go, Carnival. You can earn one back. You haven't necessarily earned it with Tim and Cheryl, but maybe. But with Mike, you can earn it back. Psyox 69, I love Carnival, and they kicked me out over a bottle of water.
We'll see.
Siphon Hayes. Yeah, not getting anything much, if any at all. You would think at how much money they bring in every year, they would definitely receive way better perks if you want to keep the people. I agree with that. Jay Lang Photo. Okay, Jay Lang, let me just say thank you for this, because this is the first week in like 3 weeks that we'll have a new week starting with, already a few super chats. Carnival will be decimated before they choose to redeem themselves, and then by then it'll be too late. Left as Platinum joined MSC. You know what? And yeah, they better start doing something quick. And here's the thing. When they kick the can down the curb or whatever, or down the road to September, I thought to myself, like, okay, a couple reasons why they haven't changed this already is they did the Diamond Dash. And so they don't want to tick people off who said, well, I booked all these cruises so I could be turned diamond before you guys change the thing. And now you're like kicking the can down the road and changing the month. So I think part of the reason they haven't switched it already is they're afraid to upset the people that booked all these cruises to fulfill the Diamond Dash. I don't think that's a good enough reason for them not to switch to what they should have done, which is just to say, you know what, we're going to keep the loyalty plan. We screwed up. And I just want them to say that. rather than John Heald come on and say, oh, we have good news, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Just say, John, I just want John to say, you know what? I got a letter from the Beards and they just want to apologize. They just want to sincerely apologize and say how much they screwed this up. That would mean so much more to everybody than if they just have John say, oh, I have great news. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And you know what? Platinums, you're still going to be platinum and you don't have to earn your status anymore. And everybody would love that part too. They would love that. And that would still be good news and everything. But can Carnival for once just raise their hand and say, we failed you. We screwed this up royally. We absolutely failed and we are sorry. And can we make this up to you? Can you forgive us? That would mean so much more, I feel like, to the Tim and Cheryls of the world that are platinum, that have gotten screwed over by this deal. I think it would. I don't think it's going to, bring everybody back, but I feel like it would bring a lot more people back if you gave a sincere apology than just acted like, you were doing everybody a favor by doing what you should have done from the start. This is my opinion. We got Mandy in the house joining us. She is a member. And you know what? Once I get to into these comments, and I gotta scroll through to see how many there are, because honestly, you all are amazing today. There's still 53 of you. If you haven't already liked the show, please do. Siathan Hayes, bottom line, it just sucks how they treat the loyal Carnival cruisers. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Living and cooking makes sense. I just want good food. Don't we all? Don't we all just want good food? Oh, Jay Lang, I'm going to the yacht club. Don't promise that, Jay Lang, if you don't mean it. Don't promise it if you don't mean it. When we going? When we going? What ship we on? What's the date? I'll take you to the yacht club. Jay Lang's taking me to the yacht club. I'm going to be living in the good life. Moving on up to the east side. Deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm moving on up. Jay Lang's going to take me up. Let's go.
You won't know what to do with that 24-hour butler.
They're going to be working. What was the other show where the butler? What was the name of the butler? Lewis or something?
Different Strokes?
No. There was a different show where there actually was a butler. I don't know. But no, Different Strokes, there was a butler too, wasn't there? I don't know. I don't know. Mandy says, thank you for fighting for us platinums. Always, always, always. It's fun. It's fun too. Cruising Chris Moss. You can find some good deals on Celebrity. Absolutely. There you go. That was one of the first cruises I ever went on. Randy, most cruisers are diamond are mostly older, so when Carnival says they are diamond for life, most likely will be in the slow go or no go years to know if they won't cost them much at all. I don't know. I'm diamond, so I take a little bit of offense to that. But
I don't think you're in the slow go years.
Yeah, I'm still partying. And Cam Fam, you know what? That would not shock me one little bit. They can just keep kicking the can down the road, and they can act like they're doing you all a favor. Like, oh, you know what? We're going to extend this so more of you can get diamond. We're going to keep kicking the can down the road all the way to the end of the year because we care about you. And so you can buy more cruises. We're going to let you have a chance to get diamond. So we're going to not start the program until the beginning of the year. I don't disagree with that. Jim is going to Iceland on Celebrity. Any thoughts? Yeah, Jim, I got a thought. Take me with you. I want to go to Iceland. That's my thought. How do you like them apples? Randy, I mean, Iceland is beautiful. That's my other thought. It's just amazing. The videos and stuff I've seen look amazing. I want to go there. That's on my bucket list. Randy P. We were platinum or decided not to chase anymore. And when they send you 3 times points and it costs about $400 more for a 7-day cruise. Yeah. You know what? I mean, at some point it just gets old. And then especially once you look and see that what does it really get you? And it's not that much. And you're just like, wait a minute, we're working this hard to get this. And this is all it gets us. Like, why are we working this hard for this? We can just go to another line. Living and cooking. I'm getting ready to book a cruise soon. I may just try Celebrity for my family and grown kids. Yeah. I mean, again, if nothing else, a couple people have said, they've checked other lines and Carnival is the cheapest or whatever. That might be the case. And for me, like I said, ultimately, that's going to be the final decision. Like if it comes down to $100 or a couple $100 or whatever, then it's going to be itinerary ship, trying something new. I'll pay an extra couple $100 for that. But if it comes down to like $500 and it's a similar itinerary or the same itinerary, and it's Carnival, well, I'm going to save the $500. But all of that factors in, and with MSC and Margaritaville and sometimes Royal, sometimes Celebrity, sometimes Norwegian have comparable rates. You're going to try those out, and that's what Carnival has forced people to do. Not forced them, but you all get. Oh, Benson, yes, Jeff, yeah, that's it, Benson. Remember Benson? What was the name of that show? Was it named Benson?
Yeah, the name of the show was Benson. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, though. We finally did it. We got to the end of all the. Judy says, "I'm on the Sunshine now. They gave us the 1.5 liter bottles. Okay, that's good." Chillaxin Travel says, "Carnival better not wait too long to fix this. They're losing customers daily. Stocks don't lie." I don't disagree with you. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in the numbers also, Blaine. Charles Clack, I'm platinum, but so far every 2 to 3 times have been for 4 or 5 day cruises. Okay. So Tim and Chris, I wanted you two to definitely, close things out here because we're closing in. People have been so passionate, and thank you for all 52 of you that are still watching. I know we were over 80 for a while there, and the fact that 52 of you are still here, an hour 42 minutes in, just shows how passionate people are about this subject and how much they want Carnival to fix this. So thank you for that. And I mean, you're speaking to it. You're voting right now, and you're commenting. And trust me, Carnival definitely has an eye on me. They've proven that. But yeah, Tim, Chris, why don't you guys close us out? Give us your thoughts on the whole thing. And
I'll give one advice: people who want to switch over to MSC, join the Voyager Club. Wait the 3 days or 4 days to get your Voyager number, then do your status match. I was too anxious and did the Voyager Club, and then right around and did the Voyager status, or did the status match, and status match gave me a Voyager Club number also. So now I have 2, so now I'm working with MSC to get rid of the 1. So, but I am using the gold status match on this cruise. So, but it does work. And so that would be my one piece of advice. Be patient. Don't be like me, anxious and finger happy. So that'd be my advice. But don't wait too long. You can, if you're platinum, take the gold status MSC has. Try it. Give it a whirl.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that.
Hey, book a cruise you want to book on. We're unhappy with Carnival, but you know what? The staff is still a great staff. They're still going to treat you well. Don't hold them for what the management's doing. They're still working their tails off They're making you family. Royal Caribbean makes me feel like family. Celebrity makes me feel like family. Princess does. MSC does. So you're going to be happy with whatever cruise line you book. I want to sail all of them. I'm on Holland America this summer. I'm on NCL this summer. So I want to get out there and try them all. So yeah, get out there and cruise, whatever you do.
All right. Well, I definitely want to point this out because Jay Lang, you're amazing. Thank you for that. They say September 8th is their next yacht club. Unfortunately, I'll be in the midst of coaching and working as a high school teacher is my real job. I so wish the date would have lined up differently, that I could have taken advantage of that yacht club. But thank you so much for definitely. That's amazing. And yeah, I mean, I'm probably good until maybe like through the first week of August. And then after that, I'm kind of like toast until, spring break or, well, Thanksgiving, New Year's. I have those weeks, but I'm already booked on those anyway. And then, yeah. And so the summer is my golden time, but yeah. But no, thank you. That's amazing. It's amazing. Mandy says, good advice for when I move to a line after Carnival takes away my platinum. And again, Mandy and I have cruised together, seen her in the piano bar with her friend, and she's another one. It's just like, Carnival, what the hell are you doing? You have all these like normal people that love cruising, that have loved your brand, and you're just rubbing them the wrong way. You're getting them to look in different directions to try out different cruise lines and everything. Why are you doing that? I mean, if there's a definition of stupid in the business model, you unfortunately, your name is popping up in neon lights right now. It's just like, what the hell are you doing? Stop it. Quit. Fix it. End it. Realize you screwed up. Your intentions may have been good. You may have thought it was going to make you a lot of money, but if by now you haven't figured out it failed, there's something wrong with you. There's somebody on some kind of crack or some kind of drugs that nobody should be on that is running the ship up there, no pun intended, that needs some help and intervention, something to fix this, because you guys have screwed this up so bad. Like fix it. I mean, that's just really all there is to it. I mean, I don't know how else to say this, but that's all I have to say. An hour and 47 minutes and 16 seconds into the show. We are 47 minutes over time. I want to thank Edmonton and Cruz and Chris Moss, who I will see and meet in the flesh next week, next Saturday morning. That's going to be awesome. And yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting back on a cruise ship. And it's a Carnival cruise ship. I'm excited about it. I'm not, but I'm just not excited about the beards that run Carnival. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody that showed. I mean, 57 of you still watching this fabulous. So thank you, each and every one of you. Hit the like button if you haven't already on your way out. Appreciate you all. And we will see you later. Peace, everybody.
Good night, people.